This episode of the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast is brought to you by Groundhog Day is an event, not a business strategy. Are you ready to finally solve those pesky issues that keep holding back your business success and never seem to go away? Embrace the power of the S.P.R.I.N.G formula that unearths the issues and opportunities burrowed beneath the surface, and grow your business so you thrive from your intersection of your brilliance and your passion. Claim your copy today at www.thegroundhogbook.com. Welcome to the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
My name is Adam Homey. I'm your host, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in and invest in yourself today. Here at the Brilliance Plus Passion Project, we connect with people who make the world a better place by being in it and by the contributions they make. We've had this project live for a little over a year now. We've interviewed well over 100 people. Circles of life are very interesting, and we are here once again. This is one of our very first returning contestants to the Brilliance Plus Passion Project, our very first person we ever interviewed, Joe Nicassio, the entrepreneur maker. So I encourage you to search our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com after you listen to this episode, catch the first one. But Joe's here because he wants to give us some updates on some things he has going on. And we also have a couple questions for him just in terms of how things have changed and evolved over the past year, particularly with the economic situation, how people are reevaluating their prospects, their life trajectory, and their career trajectory. And when I put the word out that we were looking for new guests and Joe raised his hand, I couldn't have been more delighted. So Joe Nicassio, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me, Adam. You're doing some good work here. And, you know, this is the, Brilliance Plus Passion or Passion Plus Brilliant show?
Brilliance Plus Passion, yes.
You know, I learned from my mentor that everybody has magic in them. You know, everybody has a spark of brilliance. Everybody has the potential for passion. And my brilliance and my passion is helping bring that out in other people. And so I think it's really appropriate that I'm on the show here with you.
Absolutely. So before we get into, and I'm not going to go through the same 10 questions as last time. What I really want to do is focus on some of the here and now. In some of my other podcast interviews, a lot of my conversations, and in the work I do with one of my consulting clients, the whole concept of this thing that's going on here in 2022, whether you call it the Great Resignation, the Great Realignment, whatever it is, it just seems like a lot of people are coming to different conclusions than they may have a couple years ago. In your view, and I just want to leave this wide open so you can answer it as you see fit, what do you think is driving this, and what do you see as a potential avenue for folks? And yes, you can include how you help.
Yeah, you know, so 2 or 3 years ago, you know, before COVID, everybody was busy, you know, running around like a chicken with their head cut off, headless chickens, you know. People were sitting in traffic, doing this, that, you know, they had complex lives. And then COVID-19 kind of forced everybody to stop. Whether you want to or not, you have to stop and reevaluate everything because we're all in quarantine, we're all in lockdown. And I think one of the things that happened is it forced, there's a good thing that came out of it, is forcing people to stop, made them actually reevaluate, what the heck am I doing with my life and my career? And, you know, when everybody had to stop, we had these entangled schedules. You know, you had your university schedule and your work schedule and all that. And all that stuff just got thrown out the door. And I think, you know, for a lot of people, when they were forced to stay home, it's like they didn't know what to do with their time anymore. It's like, you know, I had this thing worked out that I would show up to a job and I got a paycheck. Now I can't show up to my job, and it's like, what do I do with all this time on my hand? And so I think a lot of people have been reevaluating, and one of the things they've been reevaluating is, do I even like that job in the first place? And maybe that's not so darn important. And so I think there's a lot of reinvention going on.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing and a bad thing. I don't know, maybe no judgment at all, but I think it's good for people to actually like ponder their purpose in this lifetime. What the heck am I doing with it? And if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're doing something wrong. If you're going to build a business, you might as well enjoy it. So a lot of people, before COVID-19, a lot of people are like, why should I start a business? I got this thing called job security. I got a regular paycheck, and then COVID hit, and it's like all that stuff got thrown in the trash. So for a lot of people, it's like, well, before I had this job, I had this entrepreneur dream to start this business, and it started collecting dust. And so now that COVID-19 hit, maybe I should dust off that old dream or create a new dream and start to figure out what the heck do I want to be when I grow up. So I think that's a lot of the force that drives the Great Resignation. And, as a business consultant, I'm an entrepreneur maker. I'm a business consultant. I've had people hire me that were making $50 million a year, and they wanted to tap into my knowledge and expertise. But most of the people I work with, they're doing 500,000 or 1 million a year, and they want to go to 2 or 3 million a year. And I would, back in the day, I would go around and network, and people would say, first of all, some people would hire me because that's what I did. But there was a whole other group of people that came to me and said, Joe, I don't make that kind of money, and I don't have my own business, and I kind of would like to have my own business, but nobody's really teaching the real stuff. Can you teach me how to escape my job? Because I really hate it. And that started something probably, 10 or 12 years ago called Employee Escape Plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been there, done that.
Plan, that evolved into like, okay, if we're going to help you escape the job you hate, well, let's help you build the business you love. And that became, Business Happiness Blueprint. And I had a one-on-one mentoring, I still have it, a one-on-one mentoring program, 6 months with Joe. And it's $10,000, and I guarantee you'll make your money back and double it. If you don't, I'll keep working with you until you do. But we're going to figure this thing out once and for all. We're going to figure out what's the right business for you. Well, that's great for the people that can pay 10 grand. It's a 9-part process. So what I decided to do is, why not? There's a need out there, because when people ask, I asked, they say, I want to start a business. Do you know what kind of business you want to start? Or are you still trying to figure it out? It's mind-blowing, Adam. It's mind-blowing the number of people say, I'm still trying to figure it out. And so that became the new project that I'm working on, and I've been helping some people go through it. It's called Business Wisdom Quest, and it's about figuring out, let's if you don't like your job, let's get you to a place you say, I love what I do. You wake up every day. I love what I do. I'm looking forward to my day. I'm good at what I do. I'm making a big difference. I'm using my superpowers. I'm impacting the world. And wow, they make good money doing this. So that's kind of where we're at with what I'm working on these days.
Yeah, I've told people that if you may recall from our first interview, one of the questions was, what do you hope people say about you when you're not there to hear it? Well, in your case, one of the things that people say about you when you're not there to hear it, because I say it, is I wish I'd known Joe Nicassio 20 years ago. I was in a job. I'd been diagonally promoted. I had this, what today would be called a side hustle going. And for 2 years, I kind of seesawed back and forth until that one day in November 2004, when I found out what a complete obtuse moron my boss's boss was. And the decision was made. It was like this. It's like, entrepreneurship, we're going all the way with this, but how? So I spoke with one of my own mentors, who's also one of my clients, and he said to me that the moment I quit that job, in fact, this happened on a Friday, so he said, go in Monday, quit your job, just hand it in your nose and walk out. They can can you without notice. You can fire them without notice. To hell with them. Just let me know once it's done and show me some evidence you handed in a resignation letter or that there was a termination or whatever, and I will give you $3,000. I did not now notice I did not say loan. Notice I did not say advance on your upcoming invoices for services to be named later. He said give. I did not believe that people did stuff like that. this has got to be some kind of fairy tale. And it comes back to some of that junk we're given in our childhood and the expectations about the paradigms we're supposed to fit into. I couldn't believe it because I could not see his selfish interest in giving me the $3,000, which is very simple. He was looking to grow his firm substantially. He wanted to be able to work with me a lot more, which meant getting me out of that job. He was poised to become a bigger client of mine, just big enough so I could live off it for a couple months while I went and got other clients. So $3,000 was a small price to pay to potentially put 6 figures in his bank account within 90 days. I couldn't see that. Yeah. If I could have seen that, my life would have been a lot, much, much different. So what I love about what you do, Joe, is you catch people when they're in that place of, I want to become an entrepreneur. I'm in this job. Maybe I have a side hustle. Maybe I'm trying to figure out what my side hustle is. I want to go there. And you're somebody who can see things from the outside looking in.
Yeah. And if you're going to look, I'm in the business. I transform employees into entrepreneurs. Okay. But here's the problem. 9 out of 10 people fail in business.
Right.
But not on my watch. It's like, I have a reputation. So I want people to hire me. And I want, you ask what do people want? What do you want people to say when you're not in the room? I want people to say, Joe's the real deal. Mm-hmm. Like, Joe guided me properly. Joe is an advisor I trust. Okay. And so first thing is like, okay, let's figure out what business we're in, and then we're going to build it, and we're going to do it in such a way that it's bulletproof. Call it risk-free entrepreneurship. Now that's an oxymoron or a paradox that people can't handle. But business does not have to be risky. As a matter of fact, Warren Buffett said risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Yeah. If you think entrepreneurship is risky, it's simply because you just don't know what you're doing. And so that's why you hire a guy like me, because I know what I'm doing, and I'll make sure that you know what you're doing. So we build your business on a strong foundation. There's a scripture that says, there was a foolish man, and he built his home on the sand. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of foolish people that build their business on the sand as well. And so let's not build your business on the sand. Let's build it on a solid rock. And let's start with choosing a business that's going to endure, where you actually enjoy it. You have fun making money, serving people. You can't make $1 if you can't make a difference. Let's put you in a spot where you can make a difference and also make $1.
Before we wrap up here, and I know you have one more thing you want to share with us here, I do know that you have a little gift for our audience. I think we mentioned this a year ago, but I want to bring it up again because, as you said, it's really the place where everything begins. And that is, and now we can see the link on our screen. It's on Kartra. So I would just encourage everybody to visit our website and check out the show notes, and you'll see the link. It's also available if you're on the syndication network and you expand. It should show up, I think, on Spotify. I know it'll do it on Spotify and some of the Amazons and some of the others. But bottom line, come to the Brilliance Plus Passion website if need be. And what you're going to see is what Joe mentioned earlier. It's the Quit Your Job manual. So if you hate your job, you want to create a business you love, this is the first step. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already downloaded it. I downloaded it. I thought, even though it wasn't something I needed at the time because I wanted to see it for myself, it's amazeballs. You got to have it. But there's one more thing you want to share with us. And I'm going to display another URL on the screen right now. And this one's easier to say. It is businesswisdomquest.com. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are in a career by default and not a career by design. And so, people go, starting your own business, being in business for yourself, it can be a source of joy and prosperity, money, meaning, freedom, income, impact, independence. A lot of good things can come out of your business if you get it right. But if you don't choose the right business for you, you can be one of those failure statistics. And so I recognized, it took me a while to actually recognize this, but one of the reasons people fail is they don't even get in the right business in the first place. And people go, oh, just tell me, what business should I go? And it's like, wow, what a big disservice that would be to just, okay, I think you should be a gynecologist. Okay, that doesn't work.
Oh, yeah. Like, just pull that out of thin air.
Yeah, let me just, you should be an exotic dancer. Okay. So Business Wisdom Quest is a 6-week program to help you figure out. First of all, you inventory all your magic, and then we start saying, okay, how can we creatively organize this? Business can be a battleground, but it can also be a playground. Let's do this fun artistic process of saying, what are several paths that you could go down? And then it's about having good judgment and making a wise decision about what you're, it's like, instead of there's this question, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's like, I know what I want to be when I grow up. The purpose of Business Wisdom Quest is to help you find your North Star business. If you want to grow tomatoes, you're going to need to plant tomato seeds, and you're not going to create tomatoes if you plant cucumber seeds. And so,
yeah, so true.
Let's figure out what seed to plant, and then you can nurture that seed and build it into a business. And if you do the work in this program, you'll go from confusion, like I don't know what business to go into. The whole goal, the whole mission of this program is to walk out saying, I'm crystal clear. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm feeling it. I look forward to this. I'm excited. I know it now. This is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's the mission of Business Wisdom Quest, is to give you that, to move you from confusion to clarity. If you're confused about what business to go into, by the time you're through with Business Wisdom Quest, you'll either be crystal clear or you'll have a really good idea of what direction to go in. And I've got some things to support you over the long haul to make sure that you nail that down.
Absolutely. So again, I want to say the URL. It's www. Oh, I don't think there's a www. You can just go to businesswisdomquest.com. I do encourage you to check that out. And Joe Nicassio is somebody I recommend wholeheartedly. If you are in that situation where you hate your job and you're looking for the next step, maybe you want to become an entrepreneur, Joe Nicassio is the entrepreneur maker. So
yeah,
Joe,
you don't have to hate your job. You just there's this other group of people. Okay, they're called serial entrepreneurs. They start a business, and then they start another business, and then they start like, if you're tired of bouncing around from business to business, let's nail this down. And give you that North Star, because it's so critical.
Yes. Thank you for that interjection, because I've also seen entrepreneurs who get into a business because it's either where they could get the referrals right away, where they could get the business right away, or somebody told them they could make millions of dollars in it. But, they got into it and they've been in it for about a year and they're like, I hate this. So what's the next step?
Too many people get into a business for the wrong reasons, like it'll make a lot of money. Well, they make a lot of money, but they're miserable. We don't want that. A lot of people get into for the wrong reasons. They say, oh, I love doing this, and I have fun with this, and they have fun with it, but they don't make money with it. So let's do the deep work. Let's nail this down once and for all, so that you know it in your soul, your heart, your guts, your genitals. You want to know it at every level of your every cell in your body. I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and I feel good about it. And when you have that, then you can move forward without looking back in the rear view mirror saying, I should have, would have, could have done something else.
Absolutely. All right. So Joe Nicassio, thank you once again. It's been an honor, believe me, in education.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast.